Hello, good morning, everyone. So, as we discussed in the last lecture, we are going to see here first axiom space, second axiom space, separable space, and Lindelof space. Okay, so let us start with these definitions and we'll see some of the theorem related to them, which will be useful for your examinations. Okay, so starting with the definition of first axiom space. Before that, we have seen what is completely regular T3 half space. Okay, what is T3 half space is? It is nothing but your Tiknov space. Now let us new definition, that is FAS. We can call it as first action space, or in another way we can call it as first countable space. Okay, so what is the definition of a first countable space is, I will write the definition, that is, let X2 be a T space. The X2 is said to satisfy the first axiom of countability if for any point, for all point, or we can say for all x belongs to capital X, any point, there exists countable family Pn of X. Countable family Bn of X. What is your n? N is running from 1, 2, 3, and so on. Right? So, starting with the definition, what is first X should be a T space, and for every point of your universal set X, we should have there exists. There exists means what? We should have at least one countable family of a Bn of X, where n is 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay. So, Bn of X of a open sets in X. Okay, what are these Bn of X? These are the open sets in capital X such that they must satisfy the condition. First condition is X belongs to Bn of X. That means X must be a member of that open set Bn of X for all n. Okay, because we have written n is for 1, 2, 3, and so on. And the second condition is let G belongs to tau and X belongs to G, let X belongs to G and G belongs to tau. That means we have an open set G which contain the point X. So we should have a natural number. There exists a natural number. There exists a natural number n belongs to capital N such that X belongs to Bn of X and Bn of X is contained in G. Okay, the family Bn of X is called countable local base at a point X. Okay, what is this family Bn of X? It is called a countable local base. Now I hope everyone remember the definition of a base. We have seen the base topology, right? So it is called countable local base. Why I am calling it is local base? For every point X, we are going to find out the family Bn of X of a open set. So that's why it is called open. When we call it as a global, if we are going to generalize the concept, okay? Just like we have a global maxima, minima, and a local maxima and minima. Just like suppose we have a graph like this. So when we call it is a local maxima or minima, these are called the local maximas. And what is a global one? This is for all the graph, okay, or rather we can consider for whole interval, this will be the maxima. And local means what? It is for some particular intervals. Okay, so here also for every point X, if we are able to find out the family Bn of X of the open set, then what is the next condition? X should be a member of Bn of X. That means X must be member of every B1, B2, B3, and so on. Next, the second condition is we should have a one open set G in such a way that there exists a natural number. Okay, for that open set we should have, there exists means what? We should have a at least one natural number which satisfy this condition. What is the condition? X belongs to Bn of X. Bn of X is contained in G. This condition is already proved in the first assumption. Okay, what is the next? We have to prove Bn of x is contained in G. That means whatever the family of a Bn of x of the local base, we are going to find out that should out of all those Bn of x, we should have at least one which is contained in your open set G. Okay, the topological space is set to satisfy first axiom of countability if there exists a countable local base at each point of the space, or we can call it as there exists a countable base. All these definition can be combined in a single word, that single statement, that there exists a countable local base at each point of the topological space x2. Okay, then it is called a first space. Okay, you can say that there exists a countable local base at each point. There exists a countable local base for each point. Then we say that the your x2 is set to satisfy the first axiom of countability. Okay. So what is the definition of first axiom space? First axiom space is for every point of x, you should be able to find out the family Bn of x such that which satisfy the condition. First condition is x must be a member of a Bn of x for all n. Second condition is for every open set G, we should have the Bn of x. That means there should exist one natural number n such that x belongs to Bn of x. Bn of x is contained in G. And if all these conditions satisfy, we call the x2 is set to set called first axiom space. Okay. Now let us go for the examples of these one. The first one example which we are going to see is a usual topological space. That is phi union A is a subset of R such that for all A belongs to capital A, there exists a natural number. There exists a real number R greater than 0 such that which satisfy the condition A minus R to A plus R is contained in your A. That is, we should have a usual topology. Okay, then we have to show that it is a first axiom space. Okay, how to show this is first axiom space? First, we should able to find out the family Bn of x. How to find out this family Bn of x? Okay, we have to prove that usual topological space is a first axiom space. So for that, let us define family Bn of x. We will define family Bn of x in such a way that x minus 1 upon n and next x plus 1 upon n for such that your x belongs to natural number, right? Then Bn of x is a countable family of open set. No doubt this is an open set because in the usual topology, what is the nature of open set? They are in the form of intervals. Okay. So what are the open set? They are in the form of an interval. So that's why first condition is satisfied. What is the first condition? We have got the family Bn of x, right? Next, what is the second condition? X belongs to Bn of x. No doubt from the definition itself, we can see x is member of this Bn of x because we have written it is x minus 1 upon n to x plus 1 upon n. Whatever may be the x, it must be lying in this interval, no? X minus 1 upon 2, x plus 1 upon n. Suppose I have put the natural number n equal to 1, so I will get the interval as x minus 1 to x plus 1. So obviously x will be in between this interval, so hence I can say the second condition is satisfied. That is x belongs to Bn of x. Okay, for every n. Now next, what is the third condition? We have to satisfy the third condition. We should find out now the open set G. That is, G must be member of your usual topology. Now, how the members of usual topology looks like? They are in the form of a open interval. So I can select them just like this one, x minus 1 upon 2, x plus 1 upon n. So I can select them as x minus 1 upon 2, x plus 1 upon n is contained in x minus 1 upon r to x plus 1 upon r such that which is contained in G. Okay, we have to find out the open set G such that Bn of x is contained in G. Okay, so by definition, we have satisfied all the three conditions such that we have found firstly the family Bn of x. No doubt the family Bn of x is a family of open set. Second condition, x belongs to Bn of x for all n. Next, third condition, G belongs to usual topology such that Bn of x belongs to Bn of x, Bn of x is contained in G. And hence we can say that the usual topological space is a first axiom space. Okay, what is the second one? X2 is a discrete topological space. We have to show that your discrete topological space is, or rather, we will verify whether it is a first axiom space. Now, what is your discrete topological space? We know that the family K and tau both are same in case of a discrete topology. Now, it is very easy to do for a discrete topological space. You can just select the family Bn of x. Instead of having the family Bn of x, I can select the family like this. That is, all the singleton x are the open sets in our your discrete topology. So I can select them Bn of x is equal to singleton x itself because it is a open set. So I have selected the family Bn of x, and next, what is the next condition? We have to verify x belongs to singleton x. Okay, that means we have to verify that here we have found the family Bn of x. By definition, second condition, x belongs to Bn of x. Right, second condition is also verified. Now we have to find out the open set G. Now open set G itself, I can take it as singleton x. So hence x belongs to Bn of x, and Bn of x is contained in G because every set is a subset of itself. I can say x belongs to singleton x. Singleton x is a contained in singleton x itself, and hence your discrete topological space is also a first axiom space. Okay. Similarly, you can show about the indiscrete topological space. And I will give you one remark that your fourth space is not a first axiom space. Fourth space is not a first axiom space. Okay. To how to prove this first axiom, not a first axiom space, we should have started with x is uncountable set because first we should define what is your fourth space. Okay, first we have x is uncountable set. Then with the help of that, we are going to show that your fourth space is not a fs. In the very similar way, we have to show that cofinite t space is also not a fs. And if you are able to show that fourth space is not a fs, it is easy to show that these two are also not a fs. The third condition is we have to show that co-countable space is not a fs. Okay, if we are able to show that fourth space is not fs, it is very easy to show that co-countable and cofinite t space are also not a fs. For this one, I will give you one hint and try to prove this. What we have to do first, we have to find out the local base. Okay, that is easy to find out the local base. But which condition will not be satisfied actually? Uh, as we are finding the countable local base, so actually your x is uncountable. So how to find out the countable local base for every element? Like, hence we can say that it is not possible. Okay, I'm just giving you a hint. X is uncountable and we have to find out countable local base for every element of x, so which is not possible. In the very similar way, you can show this for a cofinite t space as well as for a co-countable t space. Next, our theorems, that is being a FS is topological property. Being FS is a topological property. Next is being FS is hereditary property. Being FS is hereditary property. Right. And the continuous image of FS need not be continuous. Continuous image of See what we have a continuous image of a FAS, that is first axiom space is not a FAS. Okay. Now this is what FAS we have seen. In short, we have seen. So just try to remember the definition and just apply it. Second axiom space, or we can call it as a second countable space. Actually, the definition of second countable space is easier as compared to the definition of a first countable space. Okay, let us see the definition. What is given to us? X2 is a T space. So X2 is firstly a T space. Then it is said to be satisfy the second axiom of countability if there exists a countable local base for the topology 2 on X. If there exists a countable local base for the topology 2 on capital X. Okay, so what is definition? The definition of your second axiom space is very easy. Thus, X2 is said to be satisfy the second axiom of countability if there exists a countable base for the topology 2 on X. Okay, sorry, it is not a countable local base. Countable local base is for your first axiom space, and here simply we should have a countable base for the topology 2 on X. Okay, so in the usual topology, whatever the example we have seen for our FAS, we will see the same example for the SAS. Okay, the usual topological space, for usual topological space, I hope everyone remember somewhere in the after the definition of a base and subbase, I have given you some B1, B2, B3. I don't know how many of you remember. This will be a countable base because we no doubt your set of rational number is countable. So hence we can say that it is a countable base for your topology 2 on X. Okay. Just like if you remember, I have shown you, I have written B1, B2, B3. All the topologies are like this. Only the A and B are members of R. Then we have written they are members of irrational and so on. And it was a homework for you people. I don't know how many of you have done this, whether it is a base or not for your usual topological space. So here we can say that this family B, the family of open interval with endpoints as a member of a rational numbers, or we can say the open interval AB such that A and B belongs to a rational number is a countable base for your topology. Okay. In the very similar way, you can see that need not be every topological space need not be SAS. Why this is so? Because we have a counter example for this one is, if suppose your X is uncountable set, you should remember this one. Okay, if your X is uncountable and your topology 2 is nothing but your discrete topological space, so hence in this case it is not a SS. Why it is not SS? The easy hint for this one is because we have to find out the countable base, but here we are not able to find out the countable base. Since countable base कैसे find out करेगा ना, if your topology x itself is uncountable, right? So hence the next statement we can say is every FAS is not a SAS, but the converse is true. And for this one, we have a counter example. What is a counter example? Discrete T space. Because just now we have shown in this lecture that discrete T space is a FS, but it is not a SAS. And the next theorem which we have is every SAS is a FAS. Okay, what is the theorem? Every SAS is a FAS. Okay. And again, the theorem being SAS is topological property, being SAS is a hereditary property. So what is given to us here? X2 is SAS, and what is our aim to prove that? We have to prove that it is a FAS. Given that it is a SS, it has a countable base. Now if it has a countable base, no doubt it will have obviously a countable local base. अगर हम कह रहे हैं कि अपने पॉइंट्स पे काउंटेबल बेस है तो obviously no need to show that whether it has a countable local base. Okay, which is easy to show. The next definition is about the Lindelof space and the separable space. Okay, if you understood the definition of a compact space, it is easy to understood the definition of a Lindelof space. Okay, what is the definition of a compact space? For every open cover, we should able to find out the finite subcover, and if it is possible, then we say that your X2 is a compact space. Okay, but what is the definition of a your Lindelof space is for any open cover if it has a countable subcover. Okay, there is some small difference in between the definition of compact space and Lindelof space. That is for every open cover, for every open cover, there should have a finite subcover in the compact space. But here we should have a countable subcover. Okay, what was there in the compact space? For every open cover, we should have a finite subcover. But here the definition is somewhat different. That is, every open cover should have a countable subcover. Next, we will see the definition of a separable space. What is a separable space? If there exists a countable dense subset in X, X2 is a T space, X2 is said to be separable, X2 is said to be separable space. When we call X2 is separable, if there exists a countable dense subset in X, if there exists a countable dense subset in capital X. Okay. Again, we will take the same example of a usual topological space. For usual topological space, what is Q bar? Q bar is R. So we can say that Q bar is a countable dense subset of R. Okay. What do you mean by dense in R? Which means that Q bar is equal to R means what? Dense in R. That means every point of Q is a limit point of R, and hence we can say that it is a countable dense. Okay. Discrete topology is itself a separable space because in discrete topological space x bar is equal to x. डिस्क्रीट में क्या होता है? डिस्क्रीट टी स्पेस में एक्स बार इज इक्वल टू एक्स है ना. आठवते का सगळ्यांना? लिमिट पॉइंट्स काढले होते आपण. Again, being a separable space is topological property. I will simply write down the statement because you have to prepare for the exam. So just remember the statement, and those who have a time or those who have studied earlier, just try to see the proof of this theorem. Every separable space is topological space, and every SAS, that is second H space, is a separable space. Okay, so in this way we have covered the syllabus. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can tell me. We can take one more extra lecture for that. Thank you.